Hello everyone, hope you're all doing good and great. So, without taking much time, allow me to uh, welcome you in this short video. So, we're going to be looking at how we configure VTP, okay? So, which is a VLAN tracking protocol. And in the last session, we've seen like um, what a VLAN is, like how to create VLANs, name them, how to configure router on a stick, how to configure a HDI, okay, and many more other configurations. So for now, we are going to be dealing with VTP. So when we say VTP in networking, we mean a protocol that simplifies VLAN management, okay? So by propagating VLAN configurations across multiple switches within the same VTP domain, okay? So just take it as a way of creating like having what we can call as a VTP server. Okay, of course, it's a VTP server where you need to create your VLANs, and then like those VLANs you created within a VTP server. Later on, they are going to like to be advertised, okay, in the client VTP, okay, or VTP clients, okay. So by having a VTP server or VTP protocol, or by configuring a VTP protocol, we are reducing like the need for manual configuration on each and individual switch. So, okay, and ensuring consistency and efficiency in a large network environments. Okay, so before we start configuring a VTP, I'd like to explain some key concepts regarding VTP, of course. Okay, so under VTP, you have what we call VTP domain. Okay, and when we say VTP domain, uh, so we mean a logical grouping, okay, of Cisco switches. Of course, the reason why I'm just using Cisco switches is because this protocol is only configured on Cisco switches. Okay, so when we say VTP domain, we mean grouping logically Cisco switches, okay, that share the same VTP domain and password as well, okay. So which means switches within a VTP domain communicate and synchronize VLAN information, okay. So we also have VTP modes, okay, and we have actually three um, different modes, okay, VTP modes. So we have server mode, so which is a default mode responsible for creating, modifying, and deleting VLANs. Okay, so it propagates these changes to the other switches within the same VTP domain. So we also have a client mode, so which receives the VLAN information from a VTP server and and synchronizes its VLAN database accordingly. Okay, and again, clients cannot create or modify or delete VLANs. Okay, so they are just there just for receiving the informations from a VTP server. Okay, so we also have a transparent mode, which forwards VTP advertisements to the other trunk ports, but does not participate in VLAN database synchronization. So it just only maintains a local VLAN database that is independent of the VTP domains. Okay. So actually, by having that said, allow me to get into the configuration parts. And again, so hopefully uh, you all have. So let me check. So you all have this topology, okay? I've shared it before, so make sure you have the same thing like what you have for now, okay? So without taking much time, allow me to go into my packet tracer and start configurations. Okay, so so here is my packet tracer. Okay, so allow me to drop some switches there. So this one will be our VTP server and two clients, VTP clients. Okay, and we are also having the end devices, and allow me to have three end devices on each switch, since we're going to have three VLANs. Okay, so means two pieces will be in the same VLAN. Okay, having this, allow me to connect these end devices to our switch. Okay, so here is the thing. So allow me to just add also a router. Okay, allow me to add a router here above, and link it with our switch here. Okay, so the first thing we need to do, of course, we need to configure VTP server. Okay, so let's just call it, let's even mark it with the VTP server. Okay, so, and again, another thing you need to keep in mind is that by default, all switches, they are configured with this mode, VTP server mode. Okay, to check that, you can just go into CRI and then do enable, then do show VTP status. Okay, so we have this. So we have VTP operating mode, which is server. So each and every switch is configured by default with this mode, which is server mode. Okay, so by having this, allow me to get into the terminal, configuration mode, and then I do VTP. So I need to set my like the domain. I've explained this, what the domain is. So I need to call it a name. So let me just call it a padding, and then VTP mode. Okay, so even though it's just, we know that it's a server. Okay, so you need to hit enter, and they're telling us that device mode already is a VTP server. So I need to set password. Okay, VTP password. So let me just use a padding 123, then hit enter, and then I do exit, then do write. Okay, so it's right. Sorry, having this done, so allow me to create as well the VLANs within our VTP servers. Okay, we need to get into the configuration mode, configure terminal, and then we need to create VLAN thing, and we name it IT. So we do exit, we do VLAN 20 as well, we name it lecturer, we do exit, so we create another VLAN, give it that as an ID, then name will be sales. Okay, and then we need to do exit, then do write. Okay, so having this done, we need also to configure VTP clients. Okay, so we need to get into each and every switch we have here. So we need to configure them as clients, VTP clients. How to do that? We need to do the same thing as we did for the VTP server. The only changes is that this time we're going to give this client modes. Okay, so we need to do VTP domain will be a part, of course. Hit enter. Then VTP modes will be clients. Hit enter. Then VTP password will be, let's just use a party for synchronization. Okay, since we have used this also on our VTP server, then hit enter. Then you need to do exit. Then you need to do write. Okay, so what we did on this switch, we have to do the same on this as well. Okay, so we need to do enable configure terminal, and hit enter, and then I need to do VTP domain, which is a party as well. So please make sure you don't just confuse things. So if you have just used a pad in small, if you have configured uh, uh, a pad in small as a domain of your server, so you have to make sure you also use these small letters for the clients. Okay, so we need also to do VTP mode, which is clients. Okay, hit enter. Then we need to do VTP password. Okay, so which is a pad 123. Then hit enter. Then I need to do exit. Then I need to do write. Okay, so having this done, we're going to configure trunk ports on switches. So let's start with this switch where I'm currently on. So I'm just uh, on this switch. So I have to configure this as my trunk. Okay, so I need to get into configuration mode. Then I do interface first 0/4. Then I need to do switch mode trunk. Switch mode trunk. Then hit enter. Then we are good. Okay, can even do exit. Then do it. Okay, so allow me also to get into this switch as well. So we need to configure this both three interfaces as trunk. Okay, then we need to, so the reason why is because this switch we need to propagate the VLANs into this switch. So the VLANs within this switch will be advertised within this switch passing through this interface. So which means they need like something to carry those VLANs. That's why we need to to configure trunk ports. Okay, so having that said, allow me to get into that interface first. 0/1/1, hit enter, then switch mode trunk. Done. Then you can do exit. Also allow me to get into this interface as well. 0/2 interface. First 0/2. Then I need to do switch mode trunk as well. Then hit enter. We are good. And then get into this interface again. 0/3, which is interface. Sorry, interface first 0/3. Then hit enter. Then need to configure it as a trunk as well. Enter. Then I do exit. Then do it. Okay. So having this done, what I did on these two switches, I have to do the same on this switch as well. Okay. So I need to configure as well. So what's happening? Okay, fine. So I need to get into this interface 0/4. First, sorry, configure terminal, hit enter. Then first interface, first 0/4. Then hit enter. Switch mode trunk. Switch mode access trunk. Is it switch mode? Yes. So it's switch mode trunk. Okay. Then hit enter. Then I do exit. Then do write. Okay. And then having this done, I also have to assign VLANs to access ports. Okay. How to do that? So I need to get into this switch. Okay. So allow me to extend these pieces for that clarity. So I need to get into this switch, and then I need to get into this first interface, which is 1/0. Hit enter. No, it's 0/1. Sorry, 0/1. Hit enter. Then I need to do a switch mode access. Enter. Switch access VLAN 10. So allow me to to assign this 0/1 to VLAN 10. Okay, I hit enter. I do exit. I also need to have this interface, which is interface first 0/2 enter. then switch modes, access, enter, switch modes, access, VLAN 20. So allow me to assign as well that interface on VLAN 20. Then I need to do exit as well, and then get into again this interface, which is interface first 0/3. Okay, then switch mode, access, switch mode, switch access, sorry, VLAN, is it VLAN? Yes, VLAN 30, hit enter, then to exit, then do right. Okay. So what I did on this switch, I have to do the same on this switch as well. So let me as well try to make these interfaces more clear. So we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I need to get into this switch as well. Then I get into the first interface, which is 0/1. I do switch mode, access, switch access, VLAN 10. So I need to assign VLAN 10 to that interface. Then I need to do exit, then again interface, first 0/2, enter, then switch mode, access as well, then switch mode, switch access, VLAN 20. Okay, then hit enter, then exit again, then I need to do interface again. This interface first 0/3, enter, then switch mode, access, switch access, VLAN 30. Okay, then I need to hit enter. So having this done, so allow me to assign, to configure as well the router. So allow me to do interVLAN routing. So we need to get into the CRI of this router, and then more, then enter, then configure terms. Everything I've just explained it in class. Okay, so no need of just repeating the same thing. Okay, then I need to get into the interface, which is gig 0/0, enter, then I need to do versions. Okay, then after doing this, I need to get out of that interface, and then I do interface gig 0/0.10. Okay, we are creating the subinterface for the VLAN 10. Then I need to hit enter, and then I need to do encapsulation .q10. Okay, then I need to do IP address. So I need to assign the IP address to that subinterface I've created. So I can just use this 192.168.1. Let's just use 254. Okay, then 255.255.255.0. Then I need to hit enter. Then I need to get out of that subinterface, and then I go to the subinterface, which is a gig 0/0.20. Hit enter. Okay, I need to do encapsulation .q20. Okay, then I hit enter. Then I do IP address 192.168.20.254 as well. Then 255.255.255.0. Then hit enter. Oops, sorry. Then I need to do exit as well. Okay. Then I need to create the last subinterface, so which is interface gig 0/0.30. Then I hit enter. Then I do encapsulation .q30. Then I assign the IP address. Before I proceed, allow me to check the IP address. So allow me to change this IP address. So I've assigned the incorrect one. But before I do that, allow me to assign this IP address. 192.168.1.254, then 255.255.255.0. Then I hit enter. So it's overlapping. So I need to use 3. So not anything else. Then hit enter. Then I do exit. Then do write. Okay. So having this done, allow me to get again into the sudo slash 0.20. Okay. It's dot 20. So interface, and then I need to do notch. Sorry.